What's going on out there, world? It's Kareem with Marriage in a Minute, coming to you today once again. Just gonna share some very uh, vital information with you for married couples. And I'm saying singles too because when you get married, you're gonna see these things happening. When you get married and you start to plan the wedding, and you're having that great planning and the excitement of the wedding and all that stuff. Everything is going beautifully and you feel so great, both of you, husband and wife, to be, or at peace and joy and love and all that stuff is flaring. But you get married. Now comes the marriage. These things start happening, right? But these things I'm talking about are some things that, it's almost like you say they gravitate over time, but these are things that you have to be conscious of and break them. They're called habits. All right, and this video you're gonna see some of the habits that husbands and wives develop that they were there already, but when you're not living together, you're not married, you don't see them within each other. But now you got married and you are living together and you start to see these parts of it. So it's like the happily ever after fairy tale is like in your mind. Where is that? Where did that go? Well, these habits, if you break them, then the happily forever after is possible. All right, guys. So check this out. I hope this encourages both husband and wife. It applies to both. So watch till the end and share this video. Make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel, Marriage in a Minute, and hit the notification bell so you'll see all our videos. Okay, all right, guys. So again, it's Karim. I'm representing my wife, Michelle. It's Marriage in a Minute. Check these habits out that you need to break. God bless you guys.
Welcome to Stanley Relationship Corner. Today, I'm going to talk about something that is very important. I'm going to talk about 12 most deadly habits of a husband that can destroy his marriage. While having fun and enjoying the companionship of your wife will surely make your marriage strong, there are certain habits that can have the opposite effect on your marriage, and those habits will ruin it altogether. The thing about habits, though, is that they are often invisible to those who have them. Husbands might not even be aware of their negative impact on their marriage until they have destroyed it altogether. Now, let me ask you a question. What do you think is the greatest threat to marriage? You can say it's money or intimacy. Some of you can say in-laws. Yes, if you say any of this, you may be correct. But there is one thing that is even more deadly. And what is that thing? Habit. Bad habit. The tiny bad habit you as a husband you form day after day can lead to major trouble down the road and destroy your marriage. Here are 12 most deadly habits of a husband that can destroy his marriage. Number 1, when you belittle or undermine your wife before others. Belittling your wife in front of others is one of the most common ways that husbands destroy their marriages. A husband can do this by telling her she is wrong or making her feel small in any way before other people. It could be as simple as calling her stupid for asking for direction or asking questions. It can also be a form of rebuking her and making her feel bad about herself. A husband who belittles his wife will often tell his friends how she does not know anything, does not have any thought on the subject he is discussing, and has no opinion worth hearing. He might make fun of what she likes to wear or how she takes care of herself. He might even use these things against her in an argument. And when you think that the show must stop, when the audience go home, think again. These tactics are used in private too, so his wife feels embarrassed and ashamed of herself for making her look bad. There are 2 ways this habit can affect your marriage. A, you will want to avoid doing it at all costs because you do not want to risk losing your wife. If you do not change, you are going to end up with a broken heart because you are destroying not only yourself but someone else's life too. One of the worst aspects of this habit is that you might not even realize you are doing it it. When you belittle your wife, do you laugh at her afterwards? Maybe you tell her whatever, in quote, after she has said something. Maybe roll your eyes after she shares a story from her day. All these actions are subtle forms of putting her down and belittling her opinion. You don't see them as hurtful because they are done privately. But imagine what will happen if everyone did that to each other. Would there ever be peace? The truth is, we've all been guilty of treating people we love poorly sometimes. But whether you are trying to hurt someone deliberately or not, it is still hurtful. The goal should be to cut out this destructive behavior before it causes more damage. To do that, first recognize the signs that you are belittling her in public. Do you get angry quickly? Do you criticize every little thing she does? Is everything her fault? Does every conversation turn into a lecture where she's made to feel like she's always doing everything wrong? Next, ask yourself, why are you belittling your wife in public? Could it be that you are jealous? Could it be that you are insecure and feel like she's better than you are? See, one thing with belittling your wife in public is the more you continue belittling your wife, the more you are gradually making her to become somebody she never was. Now, there are some wives that will react by going into their shell, by not trying to make her husband to feel humiliated in public. She will endure the pain, she will endure the torture, but deep down in her, something is happening. She's losing regard, she's losing the hope she once had in that marriage. The more you continue doing that, you will notice that your wife will go into her shell because she doesn't want to offend you, especially if she's a wife that is submissive and obedient to her husband. She will go into her shell. When she's supposed to talk, she will not talk. You just notice that she is gradually turning to another person because she wouldn't know when to air her opinion, and you will disgrace her and you will embarrass her. Now she will keep her opinions to herself. Even when those opinions could have saved you, could have helped you, she will keep it to herself, and gradually the once happy marriage will gradually be fading away. The happiness will be going away. If you continue belittling your wife in public, you are making your wife not to defend you. You are making your wife not to speak when she wants to talk. You are making your wife not to air her opinion. You are making your wife to look at you as if she's a fool. Maybe one of the things that is making you to see your wife as a changed woman, as somebody that has changed from being lovely to a hostile person, is because of the hurt. You have belittled her too many times in private and in public that she doesn't know what to say again. She has tried to call your attention to it, and you keep on apologizing. You keep on telling her you are sorry. The danger of belittling your wife is that at the end of the day, she will lose her voice. Number 2, when the husband does not communicate with his wife. Communication is one of the keys to maintaining joy in a marriage. Both the wife and the husband should talk to each other every day, no matter how light the conversation is. A silent house with no interaction between husband and wife will lead to losing your love and care for one another. Healthy communication is one of the bases of a happy marriage. If communication is lacking in a marriage, it can be difficult to stay happy in that marriage. Yes, communication might change over time. Perhaps at the start of the relationship, the communication was good because both of you were trying to get to know each other and it all seemed exciting and romantic. This obviously changes when you are married, but it should not change in a bad way. It should change for the better. Clear communication is the key to living in a happy house and sustaining an open and honest relationship with each other. Usually, men are worse at communication than women. Women are much more likely to want to openly talk about anything and everything, but men tend to shut themselves off. This can cause havoc in a marriage if simple communication about daily plans or household tasks cannot happen clearly. Things might not get done when the communication is not there. Without clear communication, all you have left is expectations. The husband will start expecting the wife to know what he meant by the body language or actions. This is how resentment starts. Do you know that before you got married, you probably shared everything with her? She was possibly your safe harbor and you always confided in her. Unfortunately, you no longer act that way. Instead of sharing everything with your wife, you may keep her at a safe distance and as a result, you may not be connecting emotionally with her. Maybe you are doing this unconsciously, or you are simply trying to protect her from certain things. But no matter what, it may make her feel excluded from your life. She may feel like you are pushing her away, which is not what any wife wants to feel. You must talk to your wife and listen to her. You don't just talk without listening, or you don't just listen without talking back. You must talk to her and you must listen to her. Do you know that communication is also really important after an argument? Argument and disagreement is a normal and healthy part of life as long as it is not happening constantly. However, to move forward after an argument, you, the husband, need to resolve it and speak about it. A lot of husbands feel attacked after an argument with their wives and they are not willing to discuss it or work it out afterwards. That is not good. There are some wives that after an argument, they may go to their husband to bring about peace, and there are some that we wait for the husband to come. It is not pride. No, they see themselves as, yes, you are the one in charge, you are the head, you are the leader. You are supposed to make the first move to resolve the issue after the argument. If a husband is not communicating well with his wife, the wife is going to end up feeling like a stranger in her own home. When a husband is not communicating well with the wife may be suffering without saying it. Some may say it. You will just notice that your wife that used to, be happy when the two of you are together at home, you will notice that she will now be going back. That happiness will not be there. And you will notice that when she is smiling, you deep down as a husband, you know that this is not from the heart of your wife. You know that this smile, she's just doing that as a camouflage. Something has happened. Women need to talk. And if you as the husband is not providing this avenue for them to talk with you, relate with you, you may make her to feel angry and upset, whereby she may be in that marriage, but her heart is not in that marriage. Sometimes they may remain there because of the children. Sometimes they may remain there because of the hardship in her father's house. Now she doesn't have any option, but she will not be happy there in that marriage. Number 3, when a husband spends more time with his friends than with his wife. The husband and the wife should not separate each other from their friends once they are married. It is unhealthy and it may lead to unhappiness. But as much as your marriage is concerned, you should give more time to your wife than your friends. If you as a husband finds yourself spending more time with your friends than your wife, especially when it does not add value to your life, then you need to reconsider the consequences of that action before it is too late. Do you know that regardless of the status of a marriage, you are still in a romantic relationship? The only difference between a marriage and a relationship is that you are in the marriage for life. You have to keep the romantic connection alive, otherwise it is going to fail. Do you also know that one of the most common reasons for breakdown in marriages is because the two people involved just grew apart over time? As a husband, you may not realize this, but when you spend quality time with your wife, that is one of the ways to keep her happy and fulfilled, and as well as increasing the value of her connection. Of course, life can get busy and interrupt quality time between husband and wife sometimes. However, if a husband is constantly spending more time out of the house or with friends, then his wife might start to feel alone. She will begin to feel lonely in her marriage, and she might come to hate
relationship advice. These are the make or break habits that either strengthen your marriage or destroy it. And that sounds really harsh, but I am keeping it real because after working with women and couples for years, I can tell you it is not the big fights or the lack of date nights that kills your connection. It's the small daily habits that we don't even realize we're doing. And I know that you want to feel seen and valued and appreciated by your husband. So let's get you there. I am Lindsay. This is Loving with Intention. Let's dive in to these 5 habits. And just wait until you hear number 5, because I used to think it was helping my relationship until I realized it was creating more distance than I ever could have imagined. So the first habit we are launching in, this habit is one that most women that I work with, they say they absolutely do this, and I used to do it every single morning without even thinking twice about it. So picture this. Super busy morning, you are rushing out the door and you just yell a quick goodbye. Your husband's in the other room, you're juggling your coffee and your keys. I totally get it, because mornings can be total chaos, especially if you're getting kids out the door, maybe if you have pets to feed. There's so much going on, and this tiny moment actually matters more than any hour-long date night that you could have in the week. When you pause for this intentional moment to focus on your husband and say goodbye, you maybe give him a genuine hug, you say an I love you say have a great day. I am talking 20 seconds here. You are literally priming the rest of your day for connection. Reunions and departures, these good mornings, good nights, hellos, and goodbyes, these are high impact moments for connection. When you do this, you will be amazed at how this tiny shift can change the entire tone for your day instead of priming your day with stress, busyness, and disconnection. And the second habit, this one is probably pretty close to you right now, if you're not already staring at it. You are finally sitting down at the end of a long day, scrolling on your phone with your husband sitting on the couch next to you. You're exhausted. You want to zone out. You want to decompress. And honestly, sometimes that is exactly what you need to do. And here's what often happens in these little moments day after day. You're both physically present, but emotionally you are miles apart. Your husband says something to you and you barely look up from your phone and you are just mumbling, And if he were to ask you, what did I just say? You would be thinking in your head, oh crap, I was not listening. I have no idea what he said. I have been there so many times, it does not feel good. These moments, they are golden opportunities for real connection. Picture your husband's face like lighting up when you actually look up, make eye contact with him, laugh at the meme or the reel that he wants to share with you. Even if it's just sharing something small like that, or maybe he's telling you a quick story, maybe he's venting about work to you. The Gottman Institute calls these moments bids for connection, and the more that we ignore them, the more likely we are to be unhappy in our relationship. This is a big deal, a really big deal. Imagine if these moments became opportunities to feel truly heard and seen by each other. So you are not just somebody who's scrolling on your phone, you are choosing to be a wife who creates moments of connection. And of course, you cannot possibly turn toward every bid for connection, and the more that you can turn toward, the better. It's even connecting to say something like, I really need to zone out for a bit, and then I can be so present to sit with you or chat with you. Most of us are on our phones all day long.
I can save your marriage in the next 4 weeks and get your wife appreciating and loving you again daily without
or chat with you. Most of us are on our phones all day long. And there are so many moments where this little device is stealing our connection. Now, I know what might be going through your mind as I say these things, but Lindsay, my husband's always on his phone, or he's the one who rushes out without saying goodbye. I hear you. I so hear you, like truly, really, because most partners are usually doing these daily habits that eat at your connection. Here's the thing though. Since he's not the one watching this video right now, unless he is, hey, but if he's not, you have the power to start shifting this pattern. I have seen so many times with the women that I work with and in my own relationship, when one person starts making changes, something amazing happens. Even though you're the one doing it, you start feeling more connected, which naturally makes you feel more open and loving, which helps him feel more appreciated. And suddenly he's looking up from his phone too. He's gonna go out of his way to kiss you goodbye. This ripple effect of connection between the two of you, it starts with one person showing up and doing things differently. And speaking of small changes creating big shifts, this next habit is actually hiding in the most ordinary moments of the day. The quiet routine moments that seem so normal, you might not even notice them anymore. But these everyday moments, they might be creating more distance than you realize. The third habit is something that is so easy to fall into, especially if you've been together for a long time. We stop noticing and appreciating the everyday things that our partner does. You know, those seemingly little things he does, like taking out the garbage before it overflows, or maybe after it overflows. Maybe he's unloading the dishwasher regularly. He makes your coffee in the morning just the way you like it. He spends hours doing yard work in the sun on the weekends. Over time, these things start to become invisible. We start expecting them. We start taking them for granted because we are human. We start considering them the bare minimum that a functioning human should do, and we barely even see them. And here's what's wild. We notice immediately when they don't happen. But when they do happen, silence. And that silence, it doesn't just create distance, it starts breeding resentment. First in him because he feels unseen, then in you because he stops doing those things because he doesn't feel seen, and then you're thinking like, oh, see, I knew I couldn't count on him. And suddenly you're both caught in this cycle where neither of you feels appreciated. According to the Gottman Institute, feeling unappreciated is one of the biggest things that leads to resentment and contempt in relationship. Think about it. How do you feel when, day by day goes by and no one seems to notice all of the things that you're doing? So the good news is, of course, you can totally shift this in a way that results in you feeling seen and appreciated too, which is the best. When you start intentionally looking for and noticing things to appreciate and expressing that, even something as simple as saying, thank you for making my coffee, it makes my morning so much better. Or, I noticed you took care of the yard today, I appreciate that you always handle that, it looks so good. You create moments of connection that build up over time. There are so many moments that we can appreciate in the day, so many. And the more appreciated and seen he feels, the more likely he is to keep doing those things, look for other ways to contribute, and start telling you what he appreciates. I'm very handsy today, if you're watching on YouTube, very handsy. So just imagine you're coming home to a husband who feels valued, who contributes without complaining, who notices and appreciates all the things that you're doing. That's what starts happening when we break this habit. I have seen this when I work with women and they get really intentional about appreciation. It's a game changer. And there's actually a way to show appreciation that hits so much deeper than just I appreciate or thank you. It is quick and it really, really, really levels up and increases the chances that your husband will actually really feel it, for one, and that he's going to start saying it to you. I created a free guide called The Superpowered Appreciation that shows you exactly how to do this. Just drop the word super in the comments here on YouTube and I will share it with you. And